Hi, Pat the Podcast Editor here. What's the secret to creating content that will generate opportunities for your business? Well, hot off the back of a recent video that's proven to be a resounding success, Dan and Lloyd explain how you can produce content that generates tangible opportunities for your company.
First of all, it's generated over £70,000 of new business opportunities for us. We had 13 leads come in off the back of it, all kind of mentioning, I saw this video and we want to work with you.
You'll hear the 4 key steps to help you create work that will engage, entertain, and put you in front of all of the right people.
It's building all of these pieces of content that gives that potential customer what they want along the way to demonstrate that you're the best solution to their problem.
And if you want to see the video in question, head to Dan Knowlton on LinkedIn to check out Service is Selling. Right, let's get stuck in. This is episode 96 of the Business Anchors podcast.
We're just a couple of business anchors. Welcome to the Business Anchors podcast. This jingle is slightly too long.
How do you produce a video that drives £70,000 of opportunities in only 1 week, Lloyd?
Well, I have a feeling we might be discussing that in this episode, Dan.
What made you think that?
Well, it's just the consistent way we've started episodes for the last sort of 50 episodes with a question and then going into why or how we do that.
Yeah, it gives a bit of a clue, doesn't it?
Yeah. But, I mean, if you actually want some information... well, actually, not answering that exactly, but a bit of a subject around that. I think a big part of this is actually creating an ecosystem around the video that makes people actually get in touch with you and interested in working with you. So we are going to be talking about the video and how we've done that and how that's
ecosystem
given us £70,000 opportunities in 1 week from one video. That's pretty good. But yeah, the ecosystem of your website and your social content and things, so that when people move away from that video, it's not a completely different experience and they think, oh, that video was great, but oh, now they look rubbish and I can't really see that they do a good job for their customers or their clients. So that's another really big thing. I'll talk a bit more about it later, but outside of the video, I think that's a really important thing as well.
Do you know how I know when we've made a video that is really valuable for our business?
People contact you and say, can I work with you?
Yes. Yeah, that's the obvious one.
Yeah.
But when I go to anything in person and not everyone, but like lots of people coming up to me saying, oh my God, your latest video, I love it. Because I recently went to the Business Bar Crawl event in Folkestone at Sleeping Giant Media. Yeah. And immediately as I stepped in the room, this guy, really nice guy, came up to me and was like, I've got to speak to you. Your latest video, I've showed it to all my colleagues and all this. And I was like, oh my God. And historically, there's a few key videos we've made where that has happened. That definitely doesn't happen for every video.
Yeah.
But that, alongside it generating new opportunities, those kind of signs are when you know, like, this has actually resonated with lots of people. So when the online
world actually blends into the offline world and you start getting people coming up to you saying how good it is.
Yeah.
Was that a nice feeling, having people
it was quite good.
Running up to you, oh my God, it's so good.
It was good.
Yeah.
And just to give some hard data to the listeners.
Good.
So we're going to give you a backstory of what the video is and stuff in a second, but we produced this.
If it's hard data, that sounds boring. Surely I should be saying it.
You should, but you haven't prepped this, so I'll say it.
Right. Okay. Cool.
So this video, it's first of all, it's generated over £70,000 of new business opportunities for us. We had 13 leads come in off the back of it, all kind of mentioning, I saw this video and we want to work with you. Not only that, I looked at some of the data, so it's been played for a total of 15,470 minutes, which is 10.7 days. And it's got over 1,000 comments, reactions and shares. And it's actually, I haven't told you this, but it's got us speaking opportunities. So I'm speaking on this webinar because someone saw it and said, I want you to talk about that on this webinar in a few weeks.
Great.
And yeah, it's done really well. And this podcast is all about sharing what we've learned from it and hopefully teaching others how they can go about creating something like this that will bring in lots of business.
Yeah, because this video is done particularly well, but obviously we've been putting out video content for years now with our own business, and we, I suppose this one where we've got £70,000 of opportunities in 1 week that we keep saying, it isn't a one-off thing. It's something we've recreated multiple times, and a way that we know if we need more business in, we need to do this sort of thing. So, for a lot of businesses, you might be thinking, oh, next month then my business is a bit quiet, or I haven't sold as much in the last couple of weeks as I need to. If you can replicate this in any sort of way of having this in your arsenal to be like, okay, right, I'm going to do this, and I know that I'm going to have a load more opportunities I can convert over the next couple of days, weeks, months.
Yeah.
Hopefully that'll be really useful.
And also, to give context and to sort of touch on what you said earlier, this isn't like a silver bullet. We're not saying you're going to create one video and not do anything else, and suddenly you get loads of business. You made a really good point, Lloyd, about the ecosystem of you need to be doing other things in other places to make sure once someone's watched the video, you're demonstrating your credibility and that you're good at what you do, and you're making it clear and easy for them to get in touch with you. So there's lots of different things you need to do around this. But this video is key to bring those opportunities in.
You can gradually improve that side of things over time to really, really increase the results you're getting and the income you get from this kind of thing. Okay, so
Lloyd, just for the listeners, what was the video? Because you were the mastermind behind this video. So what was it?
So the video was based on a viral video that is called, well, I call it Service is Selling, or Selling is Service. And it was, so this viral video, it went viral sort of all over the world and for lots of different people, but it's really popular in kind of marketing and sales offices and stuff because it's to do with selling and service and that kind of thing. So it's this team of people in a weird shop made up this song and a dance about service is selling and selling is service. It wasn't made as a comedy video, but it is very funny and weird. And what we did is we knew that in our industry that was a viral video years ago, people would recognize it. So we kind of piggybacked on that reputation it has already and that recognizability, and we shot a video pretending that we were behind the scenes. So we were actually shooting that video, and we wrote a comedic script about what was going on behind the scenes and put clips of the video in between, and it's gone down really well, as we hoped it would.
And if you want to watch it, probably the easiest place to go is my LinkedIn. It's pinned on my profile at the top. So just search Dan Knowlton, and one of the videos on the featured section, it's there. So I think it's the second one along.
Yeah.
So why, I guess before we dive into how others can recreate this, Lloyd, why do you think this works so well? Have you got, what do you think?
I think there's a number of reasons. I think it's done really well. We've managed to get the attention from our target market, which is a huge thing. And we've created a video good enough to hold the attention for long enough and create something people actually want to watch and they're engaging with. There's lots of small tactics that go into it that I'll go through maybe in a minute. But why do you think it works so well, Dan?
So I think a few reasons.
Okay.
First of all, it doesn't look like an advert. It doesn't look like marketing. This is, if you've been here for a while, you'll know that at Knowlton, our kind of mantra is to create marketing content and marketing campaigns that isn't disruptive and annoying. It's actually enjoyable to consume. And this was exactly that. It wasn't us going, become a customer of Knowlton. It was something interesting and entertaining that didn't look like an advert for our business. So that's the first thing. Secondly, I think it was a new style of content that we haven't created before. So there's two real groups of people that see our content. People that have seen our content before and are like in our ecosystem, and there's different levels of those people. Some who are always commenting on our stuff and love it, some who just passively consume it. So there's that group. And then there's the kind of new people who have never seen our content before. And I think for the people who knew us already in our ecosystem, because this was a new style of content we hadn't created, it was something new and interesting that that kind of would grab their attention, because they sort of would think, oh, I haven't seen anything like this from Knowlton before.
And testing new things in our marketing is a major part of our strategy. So although we found things like, video in general and this type of video that work, we're testing different styles of video and we're testing different things constantly. And some of them don't work. Some of them work, in an amount that's below average compared to the other stuff we do. And some of them work really well. So I'd definitely encourage other businesses to test
Yeah.
different styles. If you've got, say you put out a weekly video in a certain style and it's doing well, I would say really try, maybe even once a month, just to put something out that's different to that, because over time you will uncover something that will perform even better than what you're currently doing.
Definitely. And also another reason I think it worked really well, it had a really witty, comical script written by obviously Lloyd.
Written by a really witty, comical person.
Yes. Questionable. So that was another thing that really made it work. It also, like you mentioned earlier, Lloyd, we piggybacked off the success of another piece of content. So we know that this piece of content has already been seen by lots of people, and we showed clips of that in this video, so it would hook those people in who have seen this other viral video. So it was like that extra reach. An extra relatability rather than just us making our own video.
And we've put this on other social platforms and just piggybacked on that recognizability and people looking back and thinking, oh, I've watched that. But actually, if your video content's going on YouTube, there's an added bonus if you do this kind of thing and make a video that's linked to the content of another video. And that's that sometimes if your video is doing well enough, it can get suggested after people watch that already popular video and can increase your YouTube views. So if YouTube is a big thing for you, piggybacking on another video that's been really popular in the past and making something with a similar title, and obviously don't just give it the same title, make a rubbish video, making sure it's good enough. That's another benefit if you are using YouTube.
Yeah. And one final thing and reason I think this worked really well is nostalgia. So the services selling video went viral in 2007. And this is bringing back those memories. Like even I remember one of my old colleagues from my old job messaged me saying, oh, remember when we started working here and you showed me that video? And this was like 8 years ago. So it's that nostalgia coming back from people who've seen it all, that many years ago.
Also, what's great with that is if there's a video or a piece of content that's really popular in your industry or linked to your industry, people that might have seen it 10 years ago are likely to be in more senior positions now, making decisions and able to make those decisions and work with new businesses like yours. So that's another bonus of that nostalgia thing. People that might have been starting out in whatever industry you're in might now be in a higher up position making those decisions, and they could be your customer.
Random thing. Have you seen that guy on TikTok this reminds me of his style of content? He gets viral videos on TikTok and then he green screens it and acts as if he's in the video. Please tell me you've seen him.
I have this morning. Yeah.
Yeah. And he literally does exactly this kind of concept so I mean, it is like anyone could do this. You could think about a viral video that your target audience would have seen in the past, and then you can green screen it and act as if you're part of it. It's not that difficult.
No.
It just needs some creativity and some thought.
But also there's, you might not be into video, you might not be into this entertaining style of content. It might not match your business, but you can do this with any style of content. There might be something in popular culture 10 years ago that if your thing is blogging, that you can write a blog about and people go, oh yeah, I remember that 10 years ago. Everyone was talking about that. So it's not just video. This can be used in a lot of different areas of marketing, depending on what's your thing and what you're good at, what's a good fit for your business. So
for the listeners who are thinking, I want to create something that generates £70,000 worth of business and that kind of thing, what tips or what steps can you share that will help someone emulate the success of this video that we have created?
So there's 4 steps. It's quite simple. The first one is getting people's attention. So we did this, as we've said, with a clip from a viral video we knew was recognizable for our target market in marketing. But you can do this in a number of different ways. So you need to get people's attention on social. You can use a visual hook. So in the first couple of seconds of a video, something that people are going to see that's visually intriguing or interesting. Or you can do what I would call a scripted hook, which is asking the audience a question or saying something in the first few seconds that is going to at least get their attention and do the job of making them keep on watching for a few more seconds.
This is another massive thing on TikTok. When you watch TikTok videos, lots of the viral videos have a hook like, do you want to learn how to do this really good thing in 3 seconds? And then it like draws you in then because you're like, I want to learn how to do that really good thing in 3 seconds. And then you watch the rest of the video. So
exactly. That's vital. People are obviously, you're scrolling through and something has got to give you that bit in your brain that's like, oh, this might interest me. I'll keep watching for another 2 seconds. So that's one thing. We did it, as I said, by using that viral video clip, but there's lots of ways that you can do that depending what business you have and what industry you're in. The next thing is hold the attention with quality. So I said this a couple of episodes ago, but your video needs to be as long as it is good. So by holding attention with quality, I mean the video, after you've got their attention, it can't then just be you going, so at Lloyd's Cleaning Services, our hoovers are the number one hoovers in the southeast area, except one of the competitors. Because then you've got their attention at the start and you've wasted it. Anything that is not interesting, intriguing, entertaining for your audience needs to go. So if you're new to video and you're thinking, oh, I'm not very good at this, your video might be 9 seconds long, because you might just think of something where you're saying, oh, do you want to learn how to do this? And then you've got your Hoover because you're in cleaning and you do this hack and go click, click, click. Oh, there it is. Now your Hoover's 2 times as powerful. I'm Dave. Get in touch. And that's okay. I think a lot of people feel like they have to make long videos because it's like, well, I don't really know what to do. So if I just do more, maybe that's better.
I think something you're really good at, Lloyd, on this point is having a critical eye on everything. And even when we're looking at scripts and plans for videos, asking like, why is that bit in there? And it's kind of rubbed off on me, because when I'm ever watching our own content or our clients' videos, I'm always thinking like, is that bit there adding anything? Even if we've planned for it, like, is it actually adding anything, or will taking it out keep the viewer engaged for longer? So all listeners, please do have that critical eye over your content to cut any bits out that aren't actually adding anything.
And we've created social ads for businesses that are over 5 minutes long as an advert trying to sell stuff. And that's because we've had the budget and we've got the creative team to make that whole 5 minutes interesting for the target market, entertaining, and they're going to keep watching. But obviously not all of our video content, let alone your video content, is going to be, we'll have that budget and you'll be able to put that much work in. So
are you saying everyone should make 5 minute videos, so 5 minute videos?
No, I'm not, Dan. No,
okay.
Only if it's going to be brilliant for 5 minutes.
Okay.
And also maybe just ask someone else if it is brilliant, because sometimes you can be really proud of something, but then you might need a critical eye of being like, I know you like this.
That's difficult though. If someone's really proud of something,
I know. But I
like,
think you want to show it to someone that can be honest with you and be prepared to take the criticism and kind of prepare yourself, because it doesn't feel nice all the time. But if you've got a 2-minute video, show it to someone and kind of say, is there any part in this video that you think isn't as good as the rest that might not add much, and cut it out?
And also watch their reaction watching it as well. This is something you do with me to see which bits are funny in our content and stuff. So watch their reaction. If it looks like they're nodding off after a minute, then it probably isn't engaging enough.
You can watch their genuine reaction. Also, I've noticed when I know a piece of video content isn't good enough, I find myself when they're watching it going, oh, there's a bit in a minute that's good. Just wait. Just after this bit, there's a good bit. And I think if you're finding yourself doing that to justify to someone they've got to keep watching, you're not going to be behind the person watching your video content. So that's something that communicates it might need adapting to as well. So holding the attention with quality. So as long as you can make it good, but no longer. And then really important, find opportunities to show how good you are. So I said about the cleaning. So I just itched my mustache in a really strange way for viewers. I don't know why I did it like that.
All the viewers, you were lucky enough to see that.
Yes. Find opportunities to show how good you are. So if you are that cleaning, say you own a cleaning company, you've already found an interesting way to hook the people in. You're doing something interesting. So you're like, do you want to know how I hoovered up a pea from 10 meters away? And then so you got them in, and then they think, even me not being in cleaning, I'd be like, oh yeah, I do want to see that. And then you show you got this hoover and does that. And then when you've got the attention, finding a way to communicate why this makes your business good, why they should maybe consider working with you. And because a lot of people can make some interesting video of doing that, and then it's like, oh, what's the point of that for my business, really? That's interest to someone, but they're never going to get in touch.
Yeah.
But then just dropping in something once you got their attention to say something like, oh, this makes our cleaning teams 2 times more efficient, so we're half the price of our competitors. And just a line like that, and then suddenly it's that light bulb moment of someone that's down the road that needs some new cleans for their offices, like, oh, wow, okay. It's half the price. That could save us some money.
I do think you're onto something here. I think some people see the success of like entertaining content and just think that's it. Just make a stupid video like, oh, look, we're all doing stupid stuff. And then someone watches it, like their target market watches it and sort of like, oh, that was funny, but
it's easier to get attention and views than it is to get real business leads
and build trust
and money and income, real money that you can have in your business. So although it's fun and it's nice to see your metrics go, oh my God, we got 10,000 views on that video. We got 100,000 views. It is genuinely easier to get those views than it is to actually do something with them. And this is the hard bit. So this step, finding those opportunities to communicate and show why your business is good at what it does and how you're going to solve, that person's or that business's problems. That's the real skill. And then finally, which is another step that needs to happen, which I mentioned at the start, creating an ecosystem that basically makes it a no-brainer for people to get in touch with you. So around that video, if they're watching it thinking, wow, he hoovered that pee up from 10 meters away, and they're still watching, and then they hear you and you say you're half the price of your competitors, and they go, oh my God, that could actually save us some money, and they click or they Google your business name. If the next thing they see doesn't impress them as much as what they've just been impressed by, you're probably never going to hear from them.
That's a really good point. I think trying to understand the customer journey and when they've seen you hoover that pee up from 10 meters away, what's their journey then like? So for example, if you had a TikTok video of hoovering up a pee up from 10 meters away, that draws them in. Then they're thinking, oh, and they're half the price. They might go to your TikTok page, look at some other videos. Do they look like you're good and know what you're doing? Then click on your website. They might look around and look at your about page and a bit of your background and look at if you've got any case studies or testimonials. And it's building all of these pieces of content that gives that potential customer what they want along the way to demonstrate that you're the best solution to their problem. There's a lot of work that goes into it, isn't there?
Yeah, and I don't know if you've seen these, but I've seen, it's usually kind of crafty, arty people on TikTok that have got like 3 million views showing how they make their product. And then they put out TikTok saying like, here are my views, like 3 million views, and here are my orders. And they got like 4 orders. And you think like, I would think if 3 million people watched a piece of my content, I don't know, maybe I'd get 150 orders minimum, or, you know, maybe I'd get even 100 orders and it would be great for my business. But I think that really shows you can get attention. But if the product or service isn't good enough, or the way you communicate your product and service isn't good enough, once they move from that video, it's not actually going to do anything to help you.
A really good activity to do to ensure you're giving the potential customer all the answers and information they want is to either speak to your sales team if you have a sales team, or if it is literally just you, think back to all of the kind of either questions you've got from potential customers or queries or objections you've had from potential customers, because they're the things that are stopping that potential customer buying your product or service. And then think about how you can create content that answers those kind of questions or queries or overcomes those objections. So for example, one of the questions you may commonly get is, I'm not sure if this is worth the money. Like, it seems quite expensive. I'm not sure it's worth the money. How could you overcome that? On your product page of your website, you could have symbols showing all of the things that demonstrate value. Like, it's got a 30-day money-back guarantee. It's got a 50-day warranty. It's got free returns. It's made from this special material that lasts double as long as your competitors. Like,
that sounds good material.
It's good material. Think of all the things. And there's a really good example. So I remember if you go on like Gymshark's website, they've got a look on their product pages. And this is a tip for any industry, actually. Look at the industry leaders in your industry. Look at their pages on their website, product pages, and see what they're doing. Because, yeah, they're probably investing millions in optimizing that page, and you can steal those ideas for your page.
Yeah, so to create a video content that can have success like ours, where we got £70,000 of opportunities within a week, We need to get their attention. We need to hold their attention by only making videos that are as long as they are good. And then we need to find opportunities to show how good our business is, our product or services is, a product or service is.
Learn how to speak.
And then we need to create the ecosystem around that video. So when they move away from that video, wherever it is on the internet, that they're really impressed and it matches the quality and they become a customer or they become a lead, whatever works for your business.
I like that. My favourite part is the ecosystem part, I must say.
I think it's massive because people put massive effort into trying video to bring in new customers and leads, video and social. And then I think people give up because they think, I didn't get any customers. And it's not actually because of the video. They've done well with that. They're doing well with their content. It's what people experience after. I think I'm helping our local squash club because we really love the squash club and love playing squash. And they're kind of wondering why they're not getting new members. And the squash club's really great. The people are great. But when people get in touch, they usually wait a couple of weeks before they get a reply.
Yeah,
and it's simple things like that where it's like, oh, that didn't match the experience I thought I would get. So yeah, it's something to think about, that ecosystem around your content.
Something you could do if you're thinking maybe something's happening along the way in my process is actually mapping out the customer journey and thinking, right, what's the first touch point? They see us or they search for us on Google. What's the second? They go on their website.
Yeah.
Then they contact us via this form or call us and actually map that process out and ask at each of those steps what could be happening that makes it rubbish for...
Because that could highlight where you're missing out on customers that actually want to buy from you. It may be you go, oh, actually, if they Google my business name, we actually come up on the second page of Google. So... then it's like, okay, that's something we need to work on because that's where we're losing people when they're trying to get to us. Or it might be, oh, when you click on our website, we've still got that old case study that doesn't really reflect the quality of what they've seen in the video. And that's the first thing that comes up. Then that's what you need to work on. Or, oh, we only do 30-day delivery and now people expect to get it within a day or two. That's something you need to work on. I think, like you're saying, mapping out that journey, making sure it all matches the quality of the brilliant content you've put out is really important.
Good. I just want to finish by saying thank you to you anchors, because I've noticed, and I've been sending you stuff, Lloyd, a lot more of you are just posting and screenshotting the podcast and sharing it online and saying that you're enjoying it. So to everyone that is doing that, thank you, because it does help us reach more people and get more listeners to this pod. So thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you guys. Yeah, really, we enjoy doing it. And so... please do that more so we can do this more.
I don't enjoy it that much.
Yeah, it was good for me because I get to talk to Dan. Obviously, he has to talk to me. So, yeah, not as good. But I've really enjoyed this one. I hope you've enjoyed us in your ears. And we'll see you
in your ears
next week.